This is exercise 3.7, slotted ellipse. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the ellipse. We're going to go to the center. It's asking us for a base point or the center of ellipse, and in the exercise the center is at 4.75 comma 3.75. Okay, now it is asking for the endpoints of the axis. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to put in half of 7.5, which is 3.75. And then I'm going to go up half of 5, which is 2.5. And then you can see that our ellipse, the major radiuses should then equal the 7 and the 5. I am going to draw, and first of all, I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to call it center line. Going to make it green. Okay. Going to make this center. Okay. I'm going to make that center. I'm also going to create another line called hidden. I'm going to make this, I'm going to make it gray. Oops. I want to make this line type hidden. Called hidden. Okay, so now I have my two additional layers that I need. So I'm going to draw the major center lines here. I'm going to turn on my O snaps. I'm using the major axis center line, and I want it on center line layer, which I do not have as my current layer. So now it's the current layer. So now I'm going to draw the first slot down here in the bottom right hand corner. So I see that I got it the center line arc. The center of it is located 0.75 down and 1 over. So I'm going to offset those lines. So it is asking me 0.75. Okay, and then the other way was 1. That gives me here the center point of what that arc should be. I'm going to use a circle because sometimes that's easier to understand and comprehend. So I'm just going to use a radius of 0.75. I'm going to use the trim command. There you go. So I have that. Now it tells me to get from here to the center of my arc up top there is I got to go 0.25. So 0.25. Make sure your ortho or your polar tracking's on, that you're going to perfect 90 or 180. 0.25. Okay. Now, this should be the center line of your arc here. So what I'm going to do is, to get the sides here, I'm going to offset it. Now, since the radius of this arc up here, when drawn, is 0.25, that should be how far I offset each side. So I'm going to change my offset to 0.25. 0.25, 0.25. I'm going to put them on the correct layer. Okay. Put them on 0. And now there's 2 ways to make this arc. One way is, well, 3 ways. One way is a circle, and you go from center out to this line because that's the radius of this. The other way, one other way is if you fillet this. If you fillet it, it gives you the radius that you need. Okay. Now I want to get rid of this so it just doesn't get things confusing. So technically, we don't know the mirror command yet, so we gotta do this at all locations. So I would just offset 0.75, go over 1. But to save time, I'm just going to mirror these. Okay. Oops. So I mirror, right? I select the mirror command. I mirrored. I use this as my mirror line because that's what I want it to reflect off of. I want to go to the other side or just somewhere out here. And now it's asking me erase source objects. I'm going to select no because I want to keep my source object down here. Now I'm going to mirror again. I'm going to use just my window to select everything. I'm going to hit enter or right click to accept it. And now I'm going to use this as my mirror line because I want to flip from here over to here. So I'm going to use that as my mirror line. Make sure I come down here. Make sure you're not getting the snap right where you do it, where your original click is, because it doesn't always work. So I'm just going to go down here, some random place. It's asked me if I want to erase that. I'm going to say no. So now I have the slots. So that was pretty simple. So the circles here, they're telling me the circles are offset from this line 1, and it's offset from this line 2.75. So I'm going to offset that. And then the circle is a diameter of 4. So I'm going to center, center diameter. I'm going to go to the intersection here. Now down here it says specify center point of circle. So it's center point. It says specify radius of circle, or in this case diameter. So the diameter is 0.45. Now to double check it, since I have my properties palette on, it's telling me a diameter of 45, or else you can use LI, which stands for list, select this, and hit enter. And down here it tells you all sorts of information here. So it gives you the circumference and everything else like that. For some reason, there's the radius at 0.2250. Usually it gives you the diameter. I'm not sure why it did not in this case. So I'm going to change this to 0. And again, you got to offset the 1 and then 2.75. Okay. And then you do your circle. Or, since you already drew it, you can use the copy command. So you copy, you use the center, and go to the intersection. There you go. Okay. You can offset this 2.75 again. To get to the other side, we have these lines already shown. We're going to hit this, or select those. I'm going to copy these, or you can hit copy, then select the object. I'm going to use from the center point. I'm going to go over to the intersection. Okay, so I now have my 4 circles, my 4 slots. The only thing missing is my center polygon. Now that's on the hidden layer. So I'm going to change to hidden, select polygon, which is under the rectangle. It's asking me how many sides, so they're looking for a hexagon, so it's 6 sides. It's asking for 1.20 wide between the points. So, well, first it's asking me for the center, so it's going to the center of this object. Now it's asking for inscribe and circumscribe. Inscribed is the point on the inside of the circle. Circumscribed is the flat points, or on the flat edges, or on the outside of the circle. So we want the points because we're measuring from an outside point of 1.2. So I'm going to go with I, which is inscribed. It's asking me specify radius. Well, it's asking for 1.20 overall. So the radius would be 0.6. Hit enter. And there you go. Now you have your object, your polygon here, your 4 slots, your 4 circles, and your ellipse. So this is exercise 3.7, slotted ellipse.